Hello, heroes of Arcasia. Welcome to another episode of Patch Notes with Henry. Today we're going to cover the June summer heat update, and we've got some cool stuff cooking for the summer. There's going to be a big update with a new continent, new raid coming in, some new cosmetics, new arc pass, some new systems, and a balance patch to top it all off. So let's dive right in. One of the biggest things arriving in this update is the new continent of South Kurzan. In-game, we've been hinting at some of the events leading up to it with things like Chaos Assault, new mysterious portals opening up with hordes of demons pouring from them. And now we're going to be able to go investigate what exactly is going on. Players item level 1580 and above are going to be able to venture to Kurzan, which is a harsh, barren land. Following the Chain War, which took place 500 years ago, Kazeros' body was sealed here in the heart of Mount Antares, and even today his evil energy seeps through the land due to the volcanic activities of the mountain. When you venture here, you're going to be able to take on new quests, meet new NPCs, earn new achievements, titles, cards, emotes, and more. It's going to be the full package of a new continent arriving to Arcasia. So we're super excited for players to be able to embark on this new adventure. So with this new continent coming in, there's a ton of supporting systems that are going to be added. I already mentioned things like new NPCs, new rapport, new adventurer's tome. There's also going to be some new trade skill stuff coming in, new world tree leaves, and an absolute ton of different systems. Make sure if you're curious about min-maxing and getting all those achievements and new collectibles, go check out the full list in the release notes. So along with South Kurzan is going to be the very first Kazeros raid, which is an all new set of raids that players will have to conquer in order to potentially someday face Kazeros himself, as the events that the Legion commanders have set in place of resurrecting him, summoning the Red Moon, have progressed through Arcasia. We're now kind of reaching that next chapter. And the first of these Kazeros raids is Echidna. It's going to be an 8-player raid with 2 gates featuring new enemies, new mechanics, and the main enemy is Echidna, who was the covetous Legion commander long before Vicus came to power. So you're going to be able to challenge Echidna in normal mode at item level 1620 or in hard mode at item level 1630. One of the new mechanics that this raid introduces are allied forces skills, which are kind of a new twist on sidereal skills from Legion raids, where the raid lead can call in a variety of allied NPCs to aid in party combat. The new raid is a piece of endgame content alongside existing Legion raids and Abyss raids. Along with gold, achievements, titles, trophies, and mounts, the Echidna Kazeros raid will also include materials for a new progression system called Advanced Honing. So 2 key things I mentioned were allied forces skills. We're going to go through a quick overview of those, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Advanced Honing. Cool, so quick overview of allied forces skills. Major NPCs, including some sidereals, as they are major NPCs, can be summoned to aid players in combat. You can get various assists from your allies, such as powerful damage, aggro control, and more. So players can use one of the allied forces skills when the meter fills more than 3 slots. And certain ones, special maybe even, can be used after meeting a specific requirement within the raid. And once again, only the raid leader gets to use those, just like the raid lead in Legion raids calls in the sidereal skills. So we talked about how you have to fill up the gauge that has 5 slots. Once you summon them and you use the 3 slots of the gauge to summon the allied force skill, you're going to be able to use an additional skill while they're summoned called the support skill. And that requires a single additional gauge slot to use. So if you want to use that special bonus, you're going to have 4 slots of the gauge full when you activate. So a little bit of new play comes in of exactly the timing you want to use those. If you want to summon just the powerful effect for 3 slots, you want to charge up more and use that additional effect. So we're excited to see what players are able to cook up when they're battling Echidna in the first Kazeros raid. So the other major system that Echidna introduces into the game is Advanced Honing, which is a new progression system where gear can be upgraded in item level in an all-new way from materials earned from the Echidna raid. To proceed with Advanced Honing, the gear must go through tempering first. All ancient level gear that's 1620 or above, along with any sidereal weapons, can all be tempered with Agris's Scale, which is obtainable in Echidna normal mode, or Alcon's Eye, which is obtainable in Echidna hard mode. By using either of the two materials to temper gear, players can activate advanced honing levels 1 through 10, and then once you've reached level 10, you can retemper it with the hard mode materials. So to reach advanced honing level 20, a single gear must be tempered twice. Advanced honing tempered gear will increase advanced honing XP, and the amount of XP increased per advanced honing level try is set, but a great success can occur by random chance, which will increase and give you more advanced honing XP. Finally, when you try advanced honing, an Ancestor's Grace orb is filled. When 6 of those orbs are full, the next advanced honing attempt will activate the Ancestor's Grace to summon some ancient powers of Umar ancestors. And when that's in effect, a few useful effects can be bestowed, some of which include things like the advanced honing XP increases by a huge amount, the next honing attempt won't use any materials, or other kind of fun bonus effects that make your honing go a little bit faster. Cool. Up next, let's talk about events. We have Chaos Assault 2 coming this month, which is the second part of Chaos Assault. Except in this one, the activity is going to change and you're going to battle against Kai Shooter. He led some of the Guardians of Chaos back in the Chain War and has now returned to Arcasia. Chaos Assault is going to continue with new activities, new rewards, and a bunch more fun stuff for you to earn. You're going to be able to talk to researcher Marcus at Mount Zagoras to learn about the giant shadow appearing in the Fortress of Chaos. And from there, you're going to be able to participate in the all-new event. Just like part 1, the difficulty of the field varies depending on the player character's item level, but the same rewards are distributed regardless of item level. You're going to be able to obtain Chaos Crystals this time instead of the powders that you were earning in part 1 by participating in the event, which you then can exchange for various rewards at the event shop. In addition to the Chaos Assault Part 2 event, we're also going to be sending out the summer celebratory gifts, which we just announced the other day, and players will be able to claim that and have access to everything in there. On top of that, we're also going to be adding in a new monthly login event and new Fever Time events for the month. Up next, let's take a look at some of the cosmetics and new store updates coming in with this update. First off, we're going to have a new Arc Pass, which is the Shadow Relic Arc Pass. If you're not familiar with how an Arc Pass functions, there's 3 tracks. There's a free track where you earn a variety of useful items, from honing materials to battle items to rapport items, just for playing the game in various ways and completing achievements. Things like defeating guardians, chaos dungeons, using items, various things, all help you level up that pass throughout the season. On top of that, there's going to be a premium version, which layers in a ton more items that you can purchase for Royal Crystals. And then there's a super premium version on top of that as well that layers in the special season cosmetics. Let's take a look at what some of those cosmetics are going to be for this Arc Pass. We have a couple more store updates coming alongside that new Arc Pass. We're going to be bringing back the kimono skins along with the Spring Dream weapon cosmetics. There's been some new weapons that have been added for classes that released after they initially launched, I think maybe a year and a half ago or so. So make sure to check out some of those cool weapons. Let's take a look at what the kimono skins are if you haven't seen them, and also those Spring Dream weapons. And now let's go through some of the general updates that are coming in with this release. First off, we're super excited to announce that the winners of the 2024 emote contest are going to be arriving in this update. So new emotes for everyone to use. Here's a screen of what those look like. And while you're taking a look at that, just want to give a huge shout out and congratulations to not only our winners who did an awesome job, but also all the people that participated either in submitting their ideas or just voting. We just appreciate it when the community gets involved like that, and I'm really glad with the way these turned out. I think there's some awesome ones in there. Super excited to use them in-game after the update, and we'll probably be spamming the Makoko Dead one plenty as I wipe in Echidna. Next up, Proving Ground Season 5 is going to launch. It's the 5th season of competitive PvP play. You can prove you're one of the best warriors in Arcasia to earn season ranks, rewards, and prestige. In Season 5, MMR values are going to undergo a soft reset at launch, and the rank MMR values that you're going to need to know for the new season are: Silver is 1100 to 1250, Gold is 1250 to 1400, Platinum is 1400 to 1550, Diamond is 1550 to 1800, Master, you need to be 1800 plus and ranks 50 through 11. And then Grandmaster is going to be the very top of that, which is rank 1 through 10. The end date for Season 5 has not yet been determined, so make sure to check back in future patch notes or on our social channels to learn about what the full duration of that season is going to entail. Next up, we have some Stronghold updates. There's going to be 12 new jukebox songs that have been added to the Stronghold, and then on top of that, the knowledge transfer for South Kurzan is going to be added in. Once again, you have to complete South Kurzan before you can use that, but once you've completed it once, you can knowledge transfer any of your other characters that you want to be able to access that continent or any of the content or systems that accompany it. Quick rewards update: the Kakul Seidon Legion raid is no longer going to drop sidereal energies. That's because all of the content that's been added since then now drops them, so it's being balanced more towards the endgame content. The final system being added in for this update is going to be the MVP background system. I think this one's super cool. Last month we had kind of an overhaul to the way the MVP screen looks, and now you're going to be able to set your background for when you're on the MVP screen. And for those who are claiming their Loa on gift, there's actually an MVP screen background in that gift as well. So super excited for players to be able to implement this, see the different cool things that come up, and hopefully make it up there myself. The final section of the release notes is going to be the balance updates that are coming into the game just in time for Echidna as players work to vanquish her. So we're going to do rapid fire. I recommend if you hear a class that you play mentioned, go read through the release notes to see all the nitty-gritty changes to skills or tripods or damage values. It's too much to just kind of read out loud here. So make sure to go check that out if one of your classes is impacted. So rapid fire style, we're going to go Berserker got a small buff. Destroyer, gravity skills got a little bit of a buff, and hypergravity mode got a little bit of a nerf. We're going to have a Gun Lancer buff, a Paladin buff, a very slight Slayer buff for Predator, and then some kind of redistribution of damage for Punisher. Glavier had a small control buff. Breaker had a nerf. Deadeye is getting a buff. Artillerist is getting a buff. Loyal Companion Sharpshooter is going to get a slight buff. There's going to be a Machinist buff, a Gunslinger buff, a Deathblade nerf, a Shadowhunter buff, and an Arrowmancer buff to round it all out. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Patch Notes with Henry, as we went through the content arriving in the Summer Heat update. I'm personally super excited for it, working on getting my Echidna group together. So for this month's community question, I'd love to hear, do you have your raid group ready for Echidna? And if so, what's your team comp? What do you bring into the battlefield? Let us know. And also let us know if it's going to be normal or hard mode. What are you progging first? We're excited to hear about all the new raid stories that come out of that new raid. And once again, if you can like and subscribe, it really helps us know that you appreciate this kind of content. It's something that we should keep doing. And if not, let us know what we can do better in the comments. We appreciate your feedback. This is for the community, and we want to make sure that it's something that you guys appreciate and is valuable to you. So thanks again, and I'll see you in Arcasia. Yeah, we're really excited to make the localization update that we know a lot of players are asking for, updating the name from Layden to Echidna. We think it sounds much better, really rolls off the tongue, and are super excited to have Echidna coming into the game and arriving in the West.